Hi, we're HEX, Human Equity Exchange. Let's face it, student loan sucks, period. Do you remember a time when you had to choose between paying tuition or going to your dentist? Or missing dinner for a week or going home for Thanksgiving? Well, that's the problem. It's one of the biggest problems in the United States right now. And we have over $400 billion worth of loan. And students like Nicholas can't choose between what he wants to do, and he lacks the capital to invest in himself today. And Hex, a web-based two-sided platform where we connect investors with students who lack the capital that they need today in order to fund their own education. And you're probably wondering how we validated our idea and how we came up with this idea. So we created a website, we captured over 30 emails of potential customers, we conducted an online survey, we also conducted in-depth interview with potential customers, and all of our customers said that they were very interested in our products, including investing in it as an investor. But they said that they need to make sure that they have a safe investment, and that's why we shifted our business model from allowing anyone to become a borrower to grad students. And here's Susanna, a web developer, and she'll run us through the demo.
Sure. Hi guys, thank you for the introduction. Our demo is opening right now. So, I don't need the mic. But I wanted to show you how, sorry for, can I just do this? Yeah. Thank you. So this is Hex. This is where you land if you come to the page. And sometimes people will hear about us from social media or fintech journals or from NPR, what have you. But if they don't know, they can learn more about us, which is how many people signed up originally throughout this weekend, where we explain our concept. But more importantly, if you come knowing who we are, you can actually go and see a profile that we, again, revisit for Justin Brock, who doesn't have that much money, but he's an aspiring investment banker, so eventually he will hopefully have money to pay back. You can see his resume, transcripts, portfolio, and references. We also have success indicators, which kind of measure where a person is in life compared to a peer group, right? So there are many social metrics that actually indicate success, anything from health, smoking cigarettes, primary education, educational progress, and so on and so forth. Now, we also, this is what an investor would see, but obviously Justin is not looking for other aspirants, he's looking for investors. So if he was looking for somebody also interested in banking, he might chance upon Carrie Doe, who is a Goldman Sachs retiree and a Harvard graduate. She had a illustrious career, but she's also interested in boxing and World War II British history, among her other interests. So this way, these two can line up. And also, we can bring in an additional aspect of our program, which is mentorship, right? So very often what we found out during our validation was that investors were not just looking to make money, but they also wanted to give back to the community, and maybe mentoring somebody who is younger or at a different point in their careers would enable them to do that. Now back to Pep.
And we actually found a mentor ourselves. Gordon Taylor, who runs the program who runs a very similar program to us, has actually decided to become one of our mentors, and he's the world leading expert in income sharing agreements. And our competitors have actually paved the way for us. Programs like the Purdue program that they just started this year has actually validated a model. And the most important thing is that students actually save thousands of dollars through HEX. And our business model, we're going to charge a 2.5% transaction fee, and this is actually a gold mine for marketers, because our customers, from investors to borrowers, are actually giving us all of the information that we ever need about their lives. Thank you. And we did all of this in a weekend, so imagine how many lives we can change in the future. Thank you.
There's some questions.
Really impressed by the MVP that you guys were able to put together this weekend, and I've seen a lot of similar things to this, but there's clearly a place for it. How did you land on the 2.5%? Because it feels really low to me.
Well, I think one of the main issues that the amount of capital that you would see flowing between people, 2.5% would be quite a large number. We also need to make sure that investors are able to secure their funds, and we feel like 2.5% is a fair way to target. We're also looking at advertising revenue, where people would want to outsource systems that allow people to be vexed, or we would want to have advertisements for opportunities for education. And generating advertising revenue from that is also another source of income.
And if I may compliment what Nicholas said, the 2.5% is on the originating end, so it goes to the investor, and on the terminating end, so once it's paid off, it comes from the student paying it back, the back end.
So it's debt or equity?
Equity, completely equity. No debt trap at all for the student.
Fee to I'm confused about what the investors are getting equity in and what the return is for the investors.
They're actually getting basically once, so say Justin meets Carrie, I think that was her name, and then he's a graduate student at the MBA at Georgetown, so he has a high potential to earn a high income salary when he gets out of here. So in the website that Suzanne showed, there's a potential 100K salary. So he would have a stake of about 2 to 5% for a certain amount of years in that person's salary once they graduate. So that would be their return in investment. So the advantage to investors that he's diversifying his portfolio, although there's obviously a risk, maybe he has a low-paying job, but like any kind of investment that you do, you will carry something. But this is becoming quite a hot subject, I guess, in investing in somebody's income. That would be the model that we endorse.
We're also capping how much equity you can purchase in someone, right? So it wouldn't go over 20%, like we discussed. So that way, the customer is protected as well.
So how is that different from Upstart?
So Upstart is actually currently a loan. It's not equity. And the way that they market this loan to people is that they take into account your education on top of your credit score.
And Upstart actually failed and pivoted because they tried to fund companies, but we're actually trying to fund students' education.
Yeah, and we also have other indicators that factor into measuring how successful or how risky somebody is, right? So in addition to education, we're also looking at health, we're looking at family, we're looking at other indicators which are not always 100% true, but do show how somebody is likely to measure up in the future.
Any other questions?
So you take the percentage right off the top of it. So in other words, the person commits to doing the equity. Who does the actual transaction? Who makes that happen?
So we do it. We do it through ACH, so we also reduce the transaction cost for us. And yeah, that's right, we take off the percentage right away. But we also take a percentage as the students are paying back their future incomes.
How much of the success of the investor's investment depends on the student or kind of investment property being honest long term?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the honesty, obviously, but I mean, that's where we think the mentorship will come in, and companies like Upstart have proven, and Lumni have proven that students actually pay back. And one of our UVP is that we actually incentivize investors to invest in their students, and they want to make sure that they become as successful as they possibly can. So they're going to use all of their network and resources to connect them with future employers or any other opportunities that can make them extra income.
Exactly, the investor can have a direct relationship with their investment. You can't really talk to a stock portfolio, but you can make sure that the student that you lend money to gets in touch with your friend who is a judge and lends that internship that you have.
We will have a contract being signed at the beginning.
And the
Very
way
fair.
If I may amplify that, in our surveys, we actually found that the investors want to have a regular relationship with the student, almost like a quarterly report, an annual report, so that'll keep the report going.
And the students also wanted that because they felt having that relationship with the person that is funding them will help them be more motivated and be more accountable.